Get ready to fill your room with bloom with CRAFTIVITY's Posh Petals, a perfect way to bring craft and color into any room, anywhere. Before we begin, review what we'll need to get started. The Posh Petal Kit will include paper petals, leaf paper, flower dye, cardboard stems, flower tape, foam brush, glue, and disposable craft gloves. You're also going to need a few things from around the house. Large bowls, 3 small bowls, a measuring cup, a drop cloth or a plastic trash bag, scissors, and some water. All set? Let's get started. The first thing to do is lay out the drop cloth so it'll be ready for the petals. Next, we'll pour 1 cup of water into each of the 2 large bowls. To make the dye, we'll fill the dye bottles with warm water and give them a good shake so the dye powder fully dissolves. Go ahead and squirt about half a bottle of the full-strength pink dye into the first bowl. Separate the paper circles into 3 stacks, about 13 for each stack. Place the first stack into the bowl with the diluted pink dye. Make sure all the petals get completely covered and let them sit for a few minutes. Keep them stacked and fold the petals in half and then in half again so you can create this wedge shape. Then give them a squeeze to get the dye out. Unfold them and stack them on your drop cloth to dry. Do the same process for the yellow petals using the yellow dye. To create orange dye, mix about half of the pink dye left over in the bowl with what's left of the yellow dye. To create accents on the petals, we'll squirt some of the full-strength dye into small bowls and apply it to the edges of the petals. You can also squirt the full-strength dye onto the center of the circles. If you want, you can also leave the petals white. Just wet the petals with water and brush the edges with dye for the accents. Let the petals dry overnight. Now let's assemble the stem. Cut a piece of tape to about 4 inches. Then add some glue to the end of a tube and tape these together with the tape you cut. Wrap the seam with tape about 2 or 3 times. Cover the tubes with long strips of tape like this. Repeat with the additional tubes so you have a total of 3 stems. Now that we've got the petals dyed, accented, and the stems ready, let's prep the petals for assembly. There's 2 ways you can make centers of the flowers. The first way is to take one of the paper circles and pinch it together in the middle to create a small flower shape. Make 3 of these and set them to the side. You can also stack 3 circles and fold them into quarters, then cut the quarters into strips. Again, set these aside. To create centers and petals at the same time, stack a few circles and fold them in half. Then, cut small, thin petal from a side and a large half petal. The small petals are for the centers and the large for the outside petals. Now, let's make the flowers. Put 3 yards of tape face up on your work surface and tape the ends down. Working left to right, lay down the cut centers, pinching them at the bottom. Then, add the outside petals. Pleat the bottom of the flower and pinch as you place them on the tape. Make sure to keep the bottom of the petals close together, no further apart than about 1/4 of an inch or so. Once the petals are all down, you are ready to roll the flower. Place the end of the tube down on the far left of the tape. Remove the small piece of tape holding down the left side of the tape and roll the stem to the right, wrapping the tape with the petals around the top of the tube. Remember to adjust the tape as you wrap to make sure it stays even. The flower petals will be tight, and you will need to pull them out and fluff them. To add the leaves, fold the green squares in half and cut a slim semicircle with the folded edge as the long edge. Open the semicircles to the shape of leaves and place the leaves where you want, holding them in place with the green tape. Make 2 more. Remember to work from left to right, starting with the small center petals. Now you have 3 gorgeous flowers!